It looks like already I've got a side part. Oh, I'm gonna come back, create a profile part, so splitting the left side from the right side, a diagonal forward parting, which is also called a radial parting, separating the back of the head from the front of the head, taken from the cowlick to the back of the ear. Now a horizontal parting, separating the top of the head from the sides of the head. Our layers will happen on the top. We'll blend those through the length on the sides there, pinning up both places there. Moving into what we call a dropped horseshoe. So crescent shaped section in through the back of the head, isolating the concave area from the convex area. Now moving into partings that we call vertical planes. We are finding the rotation in the back of the head because we're going to cut this to the round of the head, which means in the back, I'm going to have 3 different body positions on the sides, 1 each. And here we go. So jumping right in, we are using a brick cutting technique. You can see me going back and forth. And what I'm looking for is the apex, the center of every curl that's happening here. This is a formation curl of about 7 on the scale to 10. And so we've got pretty intense curls, probably 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch curl patterns. So curly, but not like crazy Z type curls. Needless to say, brick cutting back and forth. What I'm doing is I'm clustering individual hairs, or I should say clusters of hairs, into a specific point. By collecting those ends in that specific point, that helps the channeling of the hair, builds thicker texture and less frizz in the haircuts. But I want it to be irregular. The more I cut every single hair across the entire plane of the head at the same length, that's going to stack weight, which is going to build the hair really wide. And that's not what I'm trying to do. So think about a brick wall, right? We've got high points, low points where the grout moves around the different bricks. So we've got rectangular types of geometrics in it. But again, we're moving that back and forth, just creating slight variations. Between the highest point and the lowest point is where we see the average length. I've cut a flat line to the round of the head. So 5 different body positions in this, continuing to nurture through the bottom there. This is super fun to watch, isn't it? It's kind of mesmerizing. You can see, again, with all the variation that we've created there, everything is nice and parallel to the ground. Now I'm using a technique called 90 to over direct, and this just develops a little bit of layering across the base of the haircut. You can see the slight bit of graduation towards the base of the haircut there. No tension at all. The only tension is really holding the hair. The length of this haircut, the first element of this haircut, is completely done, and now I'm rough cutting the layers in the back of the head. Once again, this isolated area is the convex area of the back of the head. Looks like I'm trying to figure out where the shortest point is, and I'm measuring that from the lips. So if we were to take that around the head, that is where our shortest layer will be symmetrically, around the head. Now, same sort of thing, a brick cutting technique, but I'm cutting a flat line. So 90 to over direct from the intersection of the profile and the radial. I've got a parallel section here, a vertical section, I should say. And it looks like I've already cut most of the back. There you go. That's a perfect visual of a flat line across the top. That flat line is going to drop to just below the base of the haircut there, but give us a nice rounded full look. Continue to work that onto the other side. Now, as I continue to work through the layers on the back of the head, if you haven't already hit that subscription button, definitely hit the subscribe button. Definitely give us a thumbs up, share this with your friends, and I'd love to hear what you think about this haircut down in the comments below, or what type of haircuts you would actually like to see me break down. Throw that down below. And again, this haircut is taken from our cutting edge video e-courses on our website. Now, checking the back, left and the right side, just making sure that's even. Continuing to work this brick cutting technique. It's really blunt cutting, but it's doing variations across that line. As I mentioned earlier, that just helps us to break down the thickness all collecting in one specific area, which is going to create bulk. And in the laws of physics, that bulk's got to go somewhere. So it's going to get wide, and we want to displace that width in the haircut, have everything drop down a little bit more narrow, but with this beautiful silhouette and shape. So what have we got going here? It looks like I've got a diagonal forward section here. I'm starting to work on the front of the head, on the top of the head, I should say. At the same time, diagonal forward sections, we create that because that allows one section to lap over the other section, just giving us sort of an invisible line of where those layers are created. Everything is going 90 to over direct, so 90 degrees off the profile section there. Everything on the sides of that is respecting the 90 from the center of that section, again, coming from the profile. Now you just saw a little bit of over direction there. So everything from the mid recession or the recession period forward was over directed back to the previous section, just allowing me to have a little bit more length towards the front of the face, and everything was over directed to me. I'm standing at 6 o'clock, which is the center of the back of the head. Maybe just slightly off center there. Yeah, I am slightly off center there. So based upon the center of the head, just potentially a step to the right-hand side as I continue to work through that line. Continuing to build this right side now, everything's staying on base. The exception is this last section, which is over directed to it. We know that over direction, the further something has to travel, the longer it's going to be. I just took a breath. It's moving quickly here. So we've only got a couple more minutes of this haircut, but I've finished the first two elements of the haircut. The length is done. It's been cut as a flat line to the round of the head. We've cut layers in it. We've got a little bit of blending to do on the sides there. Yep. And we are going to get right into that after the face framing here. So continuing to work our partings and sections, we've got a diagonal forward section coming from the profile and the top apex to the mid recession on each side. Top apex is just the highest point on the top of the head. And we're taking a pretty standardized section. Looks like I've actually created a subsection in here as well. Continuing to work this brick pattern technique. So slight variations to that line, respecting the curl patterns. Once again, the key to curly hair is trying to get multiple hairs to meet at a similar length, but we don't want every single section of that haircut to meet exactly at the same length because that's going to give us bulk. The hair is going to get too wide, and we want the hair to kind of collapse in and not be too huge. So just dusting off my client's face. What a respectful hairdresser I am. Continuing to work that through. Let's see, does this video cut the blending of those front pieces that were hanging longer when I had her head upside down? Starting to work into the fringe here and cutting this at natural fall. So this is really freehand cutting. I love freehand cutting. There's those long pieces. I love freehand cutting curly hair. You know, curly hair, in theory, the application of elevation and distribution plays in just like it would with straight hair, but not every single curl on every single part of the head, as you know, is the same in its, say, Z pattern or S-shaped pattern back and forth. So in theory, we cut it to make it even, but then if things shrink up or less, hang lower, we want to just make sure to freehand those in to make everything collaboratively work together. So continuing to work through with some freehand here. I love this. Oh my God, this is so good. Oh, so good. Once again, you friends, hit the subscription button. Definitely give us a thumbs up. Share this with our friends. We want to bring more people into this committee. We want to bring more people into our visuals. Definitely subscribe to us. Definitely check out Hairdressing Made Easy and watch all of these videos in their entirety. My friends, thank you so much again for joining in. We love you. And until that next video, throw down in the comments what you think of this one and what you'd like to see in the future. Thanks.